Hey guys, I'm Matt Brooks and I'm here with Grant. He's the drum tech for this tour and we're happy to be in Amsterdam today. And today is the second show in Amsterdam at the marvelous Ziggo Dome. I'm currently playing drums for RAYE and the tour called This Tour May Contain New Music. An interesting title for a tour. It's going great. The Amsterdam crowd is fantastic. And guess what? I'm super happy to be playing Pearl drums. So what you're looking at here is my tour rig. It's the President Series Deluxe and it's in the Desert Ripple finish, which is absolutely perfect for this gig. It was really important to me that my drums didn't only sound right, but they looked right for the artist that I'm working with. And thankfully with Pearl, they made that really easy for me. So I'm playing a 22x14 kick. I've got the matching President snare and that's a 14x5.5. That's the first time I've actually used a matching snare on a gig. That's how good this thing is, and sonically it fits in perfectly with the rest of the shells. I've got a 12x8 as my first rack tom, and then a 10x7 as my second. Yes, it's reversed, and maybe we can talk about that later on. Then I have a 16x16 floor tom, and then a 14x14 floor tom. And when I tell you, this kit shakes every arena that we're in. So in addition to the President snare, I've got the Pearl Free Floater. It's a 14x8 mahogany shell. This thing sounded perfect straight out the box. I couldn't believe it. It was like literally the perfect like ballad snare sound. I have it tuned really low, and we've got a few ballads where it really just fills the arena like 80s rock. Like, it's beautiful. The music is so diverse that we go from like the ballad sound and also like the really tight, snappy sound of the President snare to the 10x5 firecracker. So with this snare, that's all like the hip hop kind of stuff where I'm almost emulating a clap or a really sharp, quick, fast, articulate snare sound. And that does it perfectly. It cuts through every mix. It cuts through all the guitars, all the rest of the percussion, the brass, the strings, and it just gives me exactly what I need. So with this kit, even though I have like my toms and everything in an unconventional setup, they're still tuned relative to the size. So the 10 is the highest, then the 12, then the 14, then the 16. I don't tune to a note, but I have like a pitch reference in my head, and it actually comes from the drummer who inspired me to play drums. The first time I saw him play was playing a red Pearl Masters, and one of these days I gotta get one just in homage to him. But that lives in my head. And he also had his 12-inch before the 10. I tune it relative to what I remember from that recording, and the intervals are pretty much the same as that. But because this kit is different to like the Master series or the Reference series, this is like a vintage sounding kit. So it's really warm. It doesn't have too much attack. It's rounded and full bodied. I feel the wood just gives it that slight dryness or control. So it sounds like you're playing a record basically, which is exactly what I wanted, because I was able to use this in the studio and also be able to take the sound of the studio to the stage. And that was really important for me, to be able to bring that kind of sonic to the live world as well. So yeah, man, the tuning is just basically what I love. So when I started playing Pearl drums again, believe it or not, I actually just went and bought one. I didn't wait for a deal, and that was a beautiful kit which sounds amazing. But as soon as I started to hear the references for the new record and we were starting to get into studio production and stuff, I was like, the President kit is gonna sound great. It's gonna be the sound that I really want to hear and what's gonna serve the music the best. So we did a few shows with the other kit, and it sounded superb. All Pearl drums sound superb, but this was the right sound out of the box. Literally, open the box, set the kit up, quick tune, and off you go. It's perfect. And like I said, I was going for that vintage kind of. RAYE really loves retro, vintage, 50s, 60s music, jazz and all of that kind of stuff. And so this enabled me to capture the spirit and the sonic of that era, but with all the modern features and all the things that make it roadworthy, so I can take it everywhere around the world with me and not be too concerned about it falling apart. I just know that I've got the sound that I want and it's trustworthy. And I hit pretty hard. I've calmed down a little bit, but I still hit pretty hard. And I just know it's gonna be good night after night. So as you can see here, we've got a whole rack system. But again, working with RAYE, she's such a classy, elegant artist. So I didn't want anything that looked like a spaceship. I wanted something that looked elegant and from the front still looked like a drum kit, which is why we did the side racks first of all. So then when you're looking at it from the crowd perspective, you still see a drum kit.
So, I mean, initially we planned for stands.
Yes.
With it being sort of the vintage style kit and again, aesthetics on the stage. Even the vault we had built was for stands, just in case we have to put them away. So we went with the rack anyway, and I think it looks great. Again, like Matt said, we went with the curved around here. We've gone with all the curved booms, which initially wasn't a thing, but then we saw pictures on yours, you know, what other Pearl drummers are doing, and we just thought it would look great. And loads of people have commented, even our guitar tech, Lee, and he doesn't know a lot about drums. He's like, that looks great. But in terms of actual functionality, we've not changed. It's the same setup, really. So like, we've still mounted some rolling pads, the same amount of cymbals. I made these little extra bars so we can mount the overheads for audio, so it looks a bit more slicker on stage. And again, it was trying to figure out what would work. So we went with all the extenders, so we'd have options for heights. I even mounted the hi-hat mic for audio again, doing them one more favor. But yeah, and for me, it's great because we've got the option on this tour to put everything in a big cart. So when we pack the drums down, everything goes in the vault, and I can just lift this up, put it on the dolly, and it goes straight on the truck. So it makes my life really easy. But yeah, I think it's come out really well. I'm really proud of it.
It's great, man. And like every show, everything is where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
The way everything's locked in place, nothing slips, nothing moves. Every time I sit behind here for sound check, I'm like, yeah, man, I don't have to do anything. It's fantastic. So you can see on the two rack toms, I've got the R2 air system. Growing up playing Pearl, I'm familiar with like the ISS, Opti-mount and stuff, but the R2 air was new to me. But one thing that was important for me, I love drums that resonate. I love drums that respond when you strike them. The energy transfers throughout the show. And one thing I noticed with this system compared to even the Opti-mount that I have on my other kit is that it really aids in that. I feel like the suspension that it gives allows the drums to almost float. It feels like it's floating, and when I strike the drum, it doesn't feel like I strike the drum and then the energy comes back to me. It feels like I strike the drum and my energy disperses throughout the show, resonates and gives me the exact tone that I want. Like, I'm blown away at how much these drums sing. It's crazy. And I do think that's in part to the R2 air system.
With this side of the rack, again, we've got one of the tables, mainly because Matt's on a hardwired pack. Nice little practice pad, so when we come to sound check, you can put it on the snare and not make loads of noise and warm up. And again, with the curves, it just kind of naturally all flows around, and you even get to the ride and it's still, the curves carry on, which I think looks really great.
The curves have been really good for me because when you have the straights, you have to do a bit more work, especially you can see I like the overlapping cymbals kind of vibe, and you have to do a bit more work to make sure that the boom arm isn't in the way or obstructing the crash or the ride. Whereas these curves, it's like, it's the perfect amount of curve to be able to get your positioning perfect without getting in the way of anything else. Yeah, I haven't named this kit. I don't actually name my kits, to be fair, but I do feel close to my drums and I'm very protective of my drums, which is why I'm happy Grant's here, because I can trust him. It's like one of my children. I have 2 children, and this is like my 3rd. So yeah, it's really nice to have someone taking good care of it. Really cool. I remember the first Eliminator pedal I bought as a teenager, actually. One of the things that was key for me about these pedals was the ability to move the footboard. And also, what I love about these pedals is that you can see I have a really extreme beater angle. Once I put my foot on the pedal, it's pretty much like there. So the beater angle just kind of compensates for that. The spring tension is still fine, not too tight. I'm not worried that it's gonna snap. The response is also still so smooth. I mean, look at that, beautiful, beautiful. So it can take me like literally stamping on it and also remain and retain its smoothness. I've always loved the quad beater. I'm using the rounded felt side simply because I wanted a bit more of that vintage tone. But in my younger days, it would always be the plastic side to get all that attack. I love a real, funnily enough, I love like a metal clicky sounding bass drum. I just love the ability that with one beater, I can cover 4 different tones. It's great. I'm on the black cam, which is interesting actually, because I decided that when I got these pedals, I'm just gonna use whatever cam comes with it and see how I get on. When I was younger, I'd always use the red cam and I flirted with the white cam for a little bit, but this time around, the black cam just worked straight out of the box for me. So yeah, if you're looking for a pedal, trust me, this is it. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for checking out this kit. Me and Grant are working real hard to make sure we deliver great shows. We're going all around the world and I really hope to see some Pearl drummers out there on the road. So if you're coming to a show, let me know, man. Let me know, we're all Pearl family. See you soon. Pearl, the best reason to play drums.